Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode in the Revival series. That is right. We return to the Revival series, and I can't believe that it's been this long in the Revival series before I did this person. How did this slip my mind? This person, the person that we're taking on today, obviously you guys know who it is because of the title and the thumbnail. The person that we're taking on today may very well be the biggest bust in all of the NFL's history. That's a very bold statement to say, but I think there's some very good facts to back it up. Obviously, I'm burying the lead. The person that we are doing today is JaMarcus Russell. Even just saying that name out loud, instantly people are like, oh yeah, biggest bust? At least he's the biggest bust of the 21st century. I'd have to say that. He's got to be that. So, JaMarcus Russell, if you're not familiar with JaMarcus Russell's story, basically it goes like this. Went to LSU, had a very good season, looked very talented, could move a little bit, had a huge arm, was a great quarterback at LSU. A good quarterback at LSU. And he obviously got drafted number 1 overall by at the time, Oakland Raiders. So he goes to Oakland, he plays a couple of seasons, he's not good at all, he's garbage, he gets fat at one point, he gets very fat at one point, out of shape, bad, and he's out of the league. I think also it came out that he had, did he have gambling issues? He had some sort of issues where he doesn't have a lot of money anymore, I don't think. A lot of his rookie deal contract money anymore. I forget what the actual is. I don't want to say he absolutely had gambling issues because I don't know if he actually did. But I feel like it came out recently where he said, or somebody said that he had some sort of issue where he lost a lot of money. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like I heard that somewhere. But the main story, the little fun little thing that people, if you mention JaMarcus Russell, they'll always be like, oh yeah, I know this fun fact about JaMarcus Russell, because it's a very well-known fact. At the time when he was on the Raiders, they were worried and they were suspecting that he was not watching film. Johnny Manziel says, could never be me. So what the Raiders staff did is that they gave him film tapes that were completely blank. Nothing was on them. It was just the physical tape. And they told him, come back after the weekend, tell us on Monday what's on the film, how you thought about it, what did you think of the stuff, because they wanted to test and see if he was actually not watching film. So it goes through, the weekend's over, they come back on Monday, they ask him, hey JaMarcus, how'd you like the tape? How'd you think the film went? Did you like what you saw? And JaMarcus says, oh yeah, good stuff. And that instantly they knew, boom, he doesn't watch film. So that was a huge huge point of concern, obviously, for the Raiders and JaMarcus Russell. Now, if it was me, and I didn't want to watch film, even though if I had made it to the NFL, I'd be watching as much film as possible. But if it was me not wanting to watch film, I would have just said, I didn't really like it. Or I would have said, you didn't put anything on there. Because I would have thought, this is weird that they're giving me film to take home with. This isn't the modern day where you have iPads and all this kind of stuff. You can take the film wherever you want. This is back in the 2000s where you had to give them a physical copy. So I would have been like, you didn't put anything on there. Because it's 50-50 if they did or not. So you might as well take the shot. You're going to get in trouble either way. So you might as well take the shot and say, you didn't put anything on there. And then if you're right, if you happen to be right, then they're like, oh, maybe he did watch this film. Maybe we're wrong about him. But if they did end up putting something on there and you say that they didn't, then you're obviously in trouble. So you're going to get in trouble if you didn't watch it anyway. So you might as well, I would have at least taken the shot in 50-50 shot and said, you didn't put anything on there, did you? And then see if I was right or not. Obviously I would have been because they actually didn't. So JaMarcus Russell didn't end up doing that. And then they go, he sucks. I think he plays the next season. I think he plays only like 2 or 3 games or something like that. And then he's out of the league very quickly. He's very bad. he was very promising coming out of college. I mean, that's why he was the #1 overall pick. But he was lazy. He put on way too much weight, got way out of shape, didn't care, or didn't seem like he cared. Maybe he did actually care. He didn't show it very well. I don't know. I don't know JaMarcus Russell, so I can't tell you for sure, but it seemed, looking from an outsider perspective, it seemed like he just didn't care. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to play football. I don't know what the reason was, but obviously we all know JaMarcus Russell to be one of, if not the biggest bust in recent history. So that is why today, of all days, we are doing the JaMarcus Russell Revival series. Now, what I said at the beginning was, I can't believe that I let this go so long, is we've done plenty of players already. We've done Tavon Austin recently. We've done Denard Robinson. We've done... Who else have we done? We've done Josh Rosen, who's a big bust in recent history. But out of all of those people, none of them, even as bad as they were in real life, none of them have been as bad or as big of a disappointment as JaMarcus Russell. JaMarcus Russell was such a big disappointment, maybe the biggest disappointment in recent NFL history, maybe even of all time. He's definitely on the list. He's definitely got a conversation to be in there. How do you not even do him to this point? How do you not start the Revivals? If you're going to start a series like this, and I'm talking to myself at this point, if you're going to start a Revival series where the point is to revive the career of a failed NFL player and give them a better chance, how do you not start that series with JaMarcus Russell? It seems crazy, doesn't it? Well, we're finally getting here. We are finally reviving the career of JaMarcus Russell. It's going to be hard, but at least we are in a little bit of a better spot because the roster that we're using is the 2007-2008 roster, which is the roster that I used for the Green Bay Packers series that's currently going on the channel, or currently wrapping up on the channel. I don't know when this video is coming out, so it's currently wrapping up on the channel. So it's probably going to be, it'll be out before the series is over. So currently going on the channel. And if you go back to the very first episode of that series, this is the roster that we're using. So that roster, I do want to point out, the mod for the roster is not in function anymore. The person that created the mod did not want to keep up with it, so they just kind of let it go, and I don't think anybody has updated it since. So I was able to find a way to make the roster work without actually having the mod. So without having the mod to go on top of it, the roster gets a little glitchy. The portrait's gonna get messed up a little bit, so a lot of the pictures are not matching what the person's name is, or obviously what they look like. So that kind of gets a little buggy, and then if you jump into a little bit of gameplay, the lighting kind of looks glitchy, the shadowing, it gets a little messed up when you're not working with the actual mod. So just take that for what it is. Take that for what it is. It's not perfect, but I did realize, I do want to say this before we jump in. So the reason I mention that is because JaMarcus Russell's portrait, his player portrait, is not JaMarcus Russell in the game. But I was doing a bunch of tutorials. I was watching a bunch of tutorials on how to change a player's portrait in the game, and I maybe tried this for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, trying to figure it out. I just could not get it to work for some reason. No disrespect to the people who made the tutorials. They did a good job explaining everything. I just, for some reason, could not get it to work for me. Maybe I'm stupid. That's probably what it is. For some reason, I just could not get it. So I decided that it would be easier to do it in editing of this video. So what I'm going to do is, and what your guys are going to be able to see, hopefully, if I can make it work, is I will grab a picture of JaMarcus Russell, the portrait that would go where it is in the game, and I will layer it over the top of the JaMarcus Russell picture that's in here, in editing. So anytime that you see JaMarcus Russell's picture, it'll be of him, just to basically keep the immersion factor a little bit better, because if this is a video about JaMarcus Russell, and you don't see JaMarcus Russell's picture or his face, then it kind of takes away a little bit. At least I feel like that. If I was watching this video, I would feel like, it doesn't really look like JaMarcus. Obviously, it's a different person. It doesn't look like JaMarcus Russell, so it just kind of takes away from that. At least I feel like that. So what I'm going to try to do, as long as it's easy and it looks good, if I can make it look good, that's the whole thing. So there's a 50-50 shot that it's not there when we cut to the actual video, but there also is a 50-50 shot that it is there. If I can make it look good in editing, then you will see JaMarcus Russell. If not, then you'll see whatever person. And for some reason, I don't even know who this person is that they're using the portrait of. I can't put my finger on who that is. Maybe you guys could if I show you for a second who that is. I don't even know who it is. So I just wanted to explain that. So if you see JaMarcus Russell and it looks a little weird, that's why, because it's not actually in the game. It's me over the top of it with editing, putting his picture on there and tracking it the whole way through every time you see him. So luckily, we're not doing any like crazy things in this episode, so it's not going to be too difficult to track him the entire way. So it should work. But again, if I can make it look good, that's the whole point. If I can make it look seamless and look good, or as seamless as possible, then that's what you'll see. If not, then you'll see this random dude that's portraying JaMarcus Russell. So I just wanted to put that out there now. Whew, okay, that's a long intro. One of my longest intros I've done in a while. But with all that being said, it's time to actually get into the video and revive the career of JaMarcus Russell. Maybe the biggest bust of all time in the NFL. Let's get into it. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more Revival Series content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Also, if you have any suggestions for players you want to see me revive in the future, leave them down below in the comments of any of my videos, but especially the Revival Series episodes. And let's get into the video, because this could very well be the most important one we've ever done. Okay, here we are. We are here in 2007, the rookie year of this man right here, JaMarcus Russell. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as what it is right now so you can see who I was talking about. This is who we are replacing JaMarcus Russell with. This guy, this portrait. Let me know if you know who this is. For some reason, I can't place who this is. But if you know who it is, leave it down below in the comments. Tell me who this is that is the portrait that they're using for JaMarcus Russell. But now, with a snap of my finger, you will see actual JaMarcus Russell. 3, 2, 1, and JaMarcus Russell should be there on your screen, as long as I can make it look seamless. If not, then that was kind of an awkward little thing, and it still looks the same. Nothing changed. But what we're going to do is JaMarcus Russell, 22 years old, rookie out of LSU. The benefit of this is the roster doesn't know that JaMarcus Russell's that bad. So they've gotten him hidden development because obviously he's the #1 overall pick. Of course, he's going to have at least star development. He's a 71 overall, almost to a 72. He's got awesome throw power because I mentioned in the background of JaMarcus Russell, he had a great arm, maybe a generational arm. At LSU, he was very good. He's a little bit mobile, not too crazy, nothing fantastic, nothing like Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson or anything like that. But he can move around a little bit, move the pocket. His accuracies obviously need a little bit of work, but for right now, it's a good mold. It's a good piece of clay that we can mold into a franchise quarterback. And we've got a lot of time to do that because he's only 22 years old and he's a rookie. So that is what we are working with JaMarcus Russell. The rest of the team is bad. There's a reason the Raiders were the #1 overall pick, and there's a reason the Raiders have sucked for a very, very long time. This team is garbage. This could very well be the worst roster we've inherited since doing this Revival Series. This is a bad team. We are almost guaranteed to be the #1 overall pick this year, again in 2008. And again, Nnamdi Asomugha, that's obviously not Nnamdi Asomugha. The picture got messed up. There's nothing I can do about it unless I go and figure out actually how to change portraits. But like I said in the intro, I don't know how to do that. So, or at least I know how to do it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. So Nnamdi Asomugha doesn't look like Nnamdi Asomugha. It's whatever. If any of you can help me figure it out, then that would be awesome. And obviously Warren Sapp doesn't look like Warren Sapp. He doesn't have any melanin. So that's where we are right now. This team is just god-awful. It is so bad. I've had some bad teams that I've had to quote-unquote rebuild in the past. This team is horrible. Absolutely garbage. There's no redeeming qualities at all, except for maybe JaMarcus Russell, and that's a big stretch. So as far as the draft class goes, it is the 2008 draft class. Matt Ryan, #1 overall pick. The Raiders' actual pick, Darren McFadden. I don't think we go in that direction this time around. I guess it depends on what pick we have. If we have the #1 overall pick or if we don't. We could go with current New England Patriot head coach Gerard Mayo. That could be pretty good. We're obviously not going to be taking a quarterback. So we're not going to be in the market for Matt Ryan or Joe Flacco or Chad Henne or anything like that. Maybe we take Darren McFadden. Maybe we take Chris Johnson, CJ2K. Maybe we take Matt Forte. Maybe we take Ray Rice. I mean, he's a good boxer. Maybe we take Jamal Charles. This is a good running back class for like big name guys in the NFL. Wide receivers, we're going to need a lot of these. I like Deshaun Jackson. I like Matthew Slater because he's one of the best Patriots I've ever seen. Pierre Garçon's in this class. Mario Manningham is in this class. I don't like Mario Manningham because he caught a big-time catch for the Giants in the 2012 Super Bowl, so he can go kick rocks. Tight ends, we obviously need everything, basically. Every single position except for quarterback, we can use. So the 2008 class, the 2009 class, the 2010 class, those are going to be some massive, important classes for us to build this team. Luckily, there's some good players in all those different classes. So, and this is the first time we've done a revival series with the 2007 class, so we get to see some of these draft classes that we don't get to see very often. So that's a nice little thing. Do I need to change my scouts? We have D-tackle and running back. I don't think those are the biggest problems. Running back's a big problem. I mean, they're all big problems, but I don't think defensive tackle and running back are going to be the biggest issues that we have this year or in the long run. I know it says that running back is a strength of the class, and they are a strength of the class. I don't know if running back is running back going to be my focus? Do I want to get my running back out of the way now? Do I want to go for a Darren McFadden or a Chris Johnson or a Jamal Charles or a Ray Rice? Maybe I do. Maybe I want to get those guys out of the way now so that JaMarcus Russell has at least one weapon to give the ball to. I don't know. But we are going to set JaMarcus Russell up for this stuff, the strategy stuff, and we're going to give him a little bit of target passing. We'll get into this. We'll show a clip of him with the target passing at the very beginning to kind of show his progression through, because it's going to be probably pretty rough. But that's a good... I don't like his throwing motion. He kind of just like pushes the ball. Let's see it again here. Who are we going to go? We're going to go deep to X probably. Let's get that ball down there. I didn't really see it. Let me actually look at his throwing motion first. Let me go over here. This one should be just straight down the middle. So let me stare at JaMarcus Russell here. Yeah, he just kind of like throws it weird. I don't know. Not a big fan of the throwing motion, but it's working. It's getting us into bronze already. And you can see, since we were scrambling there for a second to roll out to the left side, he doesn't move very well, very quick, but he does good enough to get the job done. See, like as he's moving here, he can run away from somebody if he needs to. Ooh, that's a bullseye thing. Yes, plus 4,000. That's a huge bullseye. Oh, that's awesome. I don't really get a lot of bullseyes for some reason. How am I going to do this? Probably throw it like that? Yeah, there's a 2. Didn't get a lot of points, but I knocked 2 down, so that should help. Then we'll go over to this right side. We'll hit probably B now. Ooh, bullseye? Bullseye plus 5,600. Let's go. That's 2 bullseyes in this one. I'm a stud. I'm an absolute stud. That's a bullseye, right? Yes! That's another bullseye. That's one of the best ones I've done in a while. Maybe we see him go up a development trait right here. We don't even know what his original development trait is, but we'll find out if he gets a boost. What are they going to give me? Ah, just 750. That was one of the best target throws I've ever done in one of these Revival Series videos. So that's a good sign that maybe I can keep that up. I probably won't be able to hit that many bullseyes for very much longer. Or that consistently, at least. But JaMarcus Russell should be able to get some nice upgrade points here. At least one, because he was already close at the start. So he's got an upgrade player, and it is JaMarcus Russell. Perfect. So JaMarcus Russell, we're probably going to focus on strong arm, but I also want to get his other ones up a little bit too. Remember, we're trying to make JaMarcus Russell one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's the whole goal of this series. So we'll do field general for now. It doesn't boost his overall, but it does boost his stats. That's a little nice. I like that. So I do want to point out that obviously the one rule of this series is JaMarcus Russell, or at least it doesn't have to be JaMarcus Russell, the person of the focus of the video has to be on the same team that drafted him and has to be a starter the entire video. So JaMarcus Russell will be the starting quarterback no matter what happens. He will be the starting quarterback for not the Vegas Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, and he will be on the team the entire time. That's the one rule that I have for this series. Everybody else obviously can move, can stay, whatever. We can rebuild the team however we want. And another important point is the Super Bowl is not the end-all be-all. If we end up winning a Super Bowl, Awesome. That's cherry on the top of the cake. Super Bowl, we don't have to build the team to be a dynasty, basically. We have to build the team to make JaMarcus Russell as good as possible. So that ends up being the same thing sometimes, where you build the team so that JaMarcus Russell plays good, and then they end up playing good as a team. They win a bunch of games. They win a Super Bowl. It's happened before in the Revival Series, but it also hasn't happened before. Sometimes we don't win a Super Bowl in the episode. That's okay. It's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to make JaMarcus Russell the best version possible and make him a top quarterback in the league, and that is what we will try to do. So now I will go and I will simulate the entire season. I will work with JaMarcus Russell in the weekly strategy, trying to get him that extra artificial boost to XP, making him as good as possible, trying to get him as quickly as possible to grow. And I will see you guys at the end of the first season. Obviously, if something crazy happens, like he goes up a development trait or something like that, then I will bring you guys back in. If not, then I'll see you guys at the end of JaMarcus Russell's rookie year. We wrapped up year number 1 of JaMarcus Russell's NFL career. We went 4-13. That's actually better than I thought we would do. I thought we wouldn't win a single game, or at least maybe win one game, but we won 4, so I guess that's something to be happy with, if you want to think of it like that. JaMarcus Russell, he had himself 3,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Remember, he's not working with a lot of talent on the offense, so these numbers are very good, maybe even too good for what he's working with. 58% completion percentage, he's got to get that up a little bit, but he will with time. He does have quarterback of the future and day 1 starter tags with him, so that's a nice little start. Justin Fargas, 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Receiving, Ronald Curry seemed to be the most important player on the team with 915 yards, 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Kirk Morrison had 149 tackles. Asamoah had 97. Michael Huff had 92. Yada, yada, yada. Biggity, boogity, biggity, boogity. 2 interceptions for Kirk Morrison as well. Okay. Don't care. Let's get to the Super Bowl to see if JaMarcus Russell has any crazy progression or anything like that. That'd be really nice to see. I'd love to see X Factor, but I'm not going to see that because he's probably only going to go up to Superstar if he goes up at all. I don't think he will, though. I think he will stay with what he has, which I think is Star. Let's just confirm that right now. It is, in fact, Star Development. Okay. We're obviously still working with some bad stuff, so we got to help the team out, but we have gotten JaMarcus Russell to be a 74 overall, which is very tasty. He's almost a 75. Okay, he's basically a 75 overall. But he has Star Development. He's gotten that throw power up to 99, which is nice to see. He's still a work in progress, obviously, but he doesn't have a lot to work with, like I keep saying. That's a very crucial point. I have to keep mentioning he doesn't have a lot to work with because he doesn't. Burgess is now a Superstar Development player. That's weird. Howard's a star. Morrison's star. Sapp is still star. Okay, so we get a little bit of progression from some of the guys on defense. Nobody really on the offense, but that's okay. It's Chargers and Eagles in the Super Bowl. Are the Chargers actually going to get one with Phillip Rivers? Yeah, Phillip Rivers! I got a Super Bowl! Now that is how I think Phillip Rivers would sound. Obviously, it's not how he actually sounds, but it's how he looks like he would sound like that. So that is that's a championship for the Chargers. LaDainian Tomlinson gets one, and he is the MVP of that game. Tony Romo, not coach of the year. Tony Romo is player of the year, MVP. Then you got Belichick is the coach of the year. LaDainian Tomlinson is the offense player of the year. Sean Merriman is the defensive player of the year. So the Chargers destroyed it this year. Marshawn Lynch gets rookie of the year for the Bills, and Patrick Willis gets defensive rookie of the year for the Niners. So that is your awards and all kinds of good stuff. We didn't get any of that. JaMarcus Russell doesn't win offensive rookie of the year. That's okay. He doesn't necessarily need to for him to progress. It would be nice because then he would go up to Superstar and we'd be really like on track, but it's okay. And he might have just gone up here. Oh no, okay. Just a couple of glitched players that are zeros. They'll be gone off the team. Don't worry about that. Player negotiations. I don't think there is anybody. We have a lot of money. Do I want Stuart? What's his name? Schweigert? Is that his name? I think that's how you pronounce that name. Derek Burgess being $74 million is kind of insane, so you're going to leave. I'm not going to pay you that much, especially because you're 30 years old. I know you did just go up to Superstar, but it's not really worth it in my opinion. I think we're just going to let those guys walk. I'm not really going to try to overpay Why would I? Why would I overpay for a 30-year-old? Yes, he's superstar development, but is he going to really be that much better than a guy that we could draft possibly? So I need to just get rid of these guys right now. I'll do that at the preseason. I'll cut those guys. Don't worry about it. All right, free agency. Bob Sanders. Did I get Bob Sanders in the Packers series? I feel like I did. Ooh, Reggie Wayne is also here. There's some good... Oh, Charles Woodson's here. Okay, there's some interesting options. I feel like I got Bob Sanders in the Packers series. I'm going to do it again because Bob Sanders is one of my favorite safeties of all time. I'm going to go for Bob Sanders one more time. And he's a 99 overall X Factor. I know that's not what Bob Sanders looks like. Again, the portraits. But I am going to offer Bob Sanders a big-time contract. And we are going to hopefully get him. I don't know. We are not in contention. I don't know what these teams are offering. Can I go any higher? I might be able to go slightly higher. I might be able to go slightly higher than 15 million. Maybe I could go like to 17, 18. I mean, I could go as high as I want, really. But let's go to 18 million, and then for the bonus, we'll go to like 17 or 18 again. We'll pay him a lot of money. He's worth it. Okay, that does put us in contention. I don't know if he's going to sign with us. I am also going to go for Reggie Wayne, though. I think I went for Reggie Wayne in the Packers series. Did I just go for everybody in the Packers? That feels very familiar, going for Reggie Wayne. We're battling with the Bills. Jeff Saturday would be nice. Charles Woodson would be cool. Darren Sharp. I don't know if there's anybody else that I want to go for. Obviously, we don't need a quarterback. We don't really need a running back because I'm going to look for one in the draft. We're going for Reggie Wayne, so receiver doesn't really need to be anybody else. Offensive line, I mean, Jeff Saturday would be cool, but I don't think we're going to be able to get him. We're not going to go back for Burgess. LeVar Arrington's 30. I think we just stick with, I mean, we could go for Sharper, but I don't really think that's a smart idea. He's 33. I think we'll stick with Bob Sanders and Reggie Wayne, and we'll see if we get either of them. We didn't get either of them. Wow. Bob Sanders goes to the Packers. Reggie Wayne goes to the Jaguars. We struck out on both of those guys, but that means we keep all the money, I guess, if you want to think of it like that. That's not what I wanted to have happen. I would like to have somebody to throw the football to with JaMarcus Russell, but we're not going to be in that spot. That's okay. Mock draft number 4. Let's get to the draft. The draft's the important part. I don't know what draft pick we have. I don't know if there's any other teams that were bad, if there was any other teams that were good. I don't know where we stand. So we got to see this mock draft. I'm hoping we have the number 1 overall pick because then we could possibly trade down since we're not going to need a quarterback. That would be the best situation. We could trade down, get extra picks for next year, all that kind of good stuff, and be in a really good situation. So we'll see what happens, but I doubt that we have the number 1 overall pick. I'm assuming there's a team that was worse than us. Is there a team that's worse than us? The Jets were a team that's worse than us. But we have the 2nd overall pick, so that's good. And they have us mocked to take Matt Ryan. This is still a decent situation. Now, the 2nd overall pick does not have the same value as the 1st overall pick. We've seen that plenty of times before. But it's still a top 2 pick in the draft. It's still going to have some sort of value. And we might try to trade that pick away, get some picks for next year and the year after, hopefully, and see where we're sitting. Because I don't think we're going to be in the market for Darren McFadden. We could be in the market for Ray Rice or Jamal Charles. I'll do Chris Johnson as well. We got Deshaun Jackson to 80%. I'll do another one on him to find out exactly how good he is. And then the rest of the team could be built through a couple extra picks at the end. Ooh, Cliff Avrill's down there. That's very interesting. So is William Hayes, Vernon Golson, Calais Campbell. I don't think I need to use one on Calais Campbell because I think I know that he's going to be pretty solid. So Keith Rivers, Philip Wheeler, DRC, Aqib Talib. I might use it on Aqib Talib because I'm not sure how good he actually is. So let's do Aqib Talib, Chris Johnson, Deshaun Jackson, Aqib Talib. Those will be my final player workouts before the draft. And we will get to the actual draft and figure out what the move is. Who do the Jets take? If the Jets take a quarterback, that's going to put us in a weird spot. But let's find out. Who do the Jets take? They need a quarterback because I don't think they have Mark Sanchez yet. Maybe they... No. It's too early for Mark Sanchez. He's probably in 2009's draft. So I don't know who they have. Chad Pennington, maybe? I have no idea. But they're going to take somebody, and they take Chris Long. And now we are here at pick number 2. And see, the value's not necessarily that good, but it's still pretty solid. We could trade down to pick 29, pick up a couple first-round picks in the next couple drafts. That might be the move, although 29 might be a little too far. 24 from the Patriots is not bad, but the Patriots are always pretty good. The Lions at 18 is not bad. I mean, we could trade with the Jets. We wouldn't get a pick this year, but we know the Jets could be pretty bad. So those picks next year could be pretty decent. We could trade the Falcons. The Falcons could end up getting Matt Ryan if we trade with the Falcons. The Dolphins have the 4th overall pick, but they're not giving me any extra firsts. I don't mind trading down that far. I just want to trade down with a team that we think could be pretty bad. The Lions end up being pretty bad, so the Lions are an option. But I kind of low-key like this Jets trade. I know we wouldn't get a first-round pick out of it, but the Jets could be bad in the next couple of years. I mean, they just had the number 1 overall pick this year, so they could still be pretty bad the next couple of years. That could be a nice pick. But I think I'm going to do this Lions trade. We get 3 first-round picks. We stay in the top 20. And then we hope that the Lions are bad. So I'm going to do this Lions trade. We move down to 18. The Lions get the 2nd overall pick. Will they take Matt Ryan before they get Matt Stafford? Yes, they will. So now they don't need Matt Stafford next year. Darren McFadden to the 49ers. Jake Long to the Dolphins. Funny. Glenn Dorsey to the Bears. Gerard Mayo to the Broncos. That's gross. Vernon Golston heading to the Commanders. Donnie Avery, Falcons. Keith Rivers, Texans. DRC to the Cardinals. Cedric Ellis to the Rams. Derek Harvey to the Saints. Titans get Brian Johnston. Ryan Clady goes to the Vikings. We're coming up again here. We got the Jaguars taking Aqib Talib. Bears get Curtis Lofton. And the Bills get Chad Henne. Good for you. Good for you. Joe Flacco's still on the board. We don't need a quarterback, but he's still on the board. Dwayne Brown. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I do like Dwayne Brown. I think he's a good player. Deshaun Jackson's still available. Calais Campbell. Oh, there's so many decent players that I kind of want to grab. How do we come away with everybody that we need to get? How do we come away? Is there any other left tackles besides Dwayne Brown that I want? Not really. Josh Sitton in the 3rd round is decent. Sullivan, day 3 is an interesting option. Jeremy Zuta, 2 to 3. I don't think this is the class we take a tackle, unless we go for Carl Nix, but that we could turn him into a guard. So I don't think we take a tackle here, even though I do like Dwayne Brown and think he could be a good player for us. I think we pass on tackle and we go for a skill position, like Matt Forte, Deshaun Jackson, Chris Johnson, Calais Campbell. Well, he's not skill position, but all these guys. I think we go for somebody in this range. It could be Deshaun Jackson. I'm kind of leaning towards Deshaun Jackson. And then we come back and we get either Campbell or one of the running backs. Well, we could pass on the running backs and take Jamal Charles. That's a possibility. I think I'm going to do that. Let's take Deshaun Jackson with this pick. And then in the 2nd round, hopefully Calais Campbell's available. But finally, we give JaMarcus Russell a weapon to work with. Deshaun Jackson making his way to the Raiders. And then hopefully Calais Campbell makes his way to the 2nd round. Brandon Albert, Joe Flacco to the Buccaneers, Antoine Cason, Dwayne Brown to the Patriots, Chris Johnson to the Bengals. Come on, come on. John Carlson, Jonathan Stewart, Ray Rice to the Ravens. Calais Campbell to the Eagles. Darn it. He was so close, too. The final pick one of the final picks of the 1st round, Calais Campbell gets grabbed. All right, so we can't get Calais Campbell, but we can go and grab a running back. It could be Jamal Charles here. He's round 2 to 3. I think it's going to be Jamal. We're going to grab him. That's our 2nd round pick. So we got a weapon for him as a receiver, and now we got a weapon for him as a running back. Now we don't pick again till the 3rd round. Man, I was really hoping that Calais Campbell would make it there. Okay, we could take Matt Flynn. That could be pretty funny. Do we go for another receiver? Pierre Garçon's day 3, so maybe we do wait on that. Tight end, Gary Barnidge, Fred Davis. Jermichael Finley's down there. Ooh, this could be the Josh Sitton pick. This might be the Josh Sitton pick. But Cliff Avrill's also available. This is a tricky situation. I don't have any other picks, right, in the 3rd round? No, I have to wait till the 4th round. This is either Josh Sitton or it's Cliff Averill. I think we're going to go Josh Sitton. Let's take Josh Sitton. He could be there in the 4th round. He most likely won't be there in the 4th round. But let's get a guy that we know is going to be a good starter for us on the offensive line. Now we make it to the 4th round. And this is probably where we grab Pierre Garçon. Maybe? Maybe this is where we grab Pierre Garçon? Or maybe this is where we grab Carl Nix. Let's grab Carl Nix here. Get another offensive lineman. And then in the 5th round, if Pierre Garçon's still available, we'll take him there. Or I guess if I have to, Mario Manning. Oh my god, he goes the very first pick before me. Of course he does. Of course he freaking does. I guess I'll take Mario Manningham. Even though I hate Mario Manningham. Of course he does, bro. That's so stupid. That's so freaking stupid. Mario Manningham, welcome to the team. Of course he gets taken. That's stupid. All right, let's end the draft. I think we had a pretty solid draft. We didn't get Calais Campbell, which would have been really awesome to grab. But we do give JaMarcus Russell a little bit of hope. We give him a few weapons to throw to in Manningham and Deshaun Jackson. We give him a running back to use. We work on his offensive line a little bit. I'm just going to make Carl Nix a right guard, and we'll see if he goes up, because that's what I know him personally as is a right guard. So we'll make him that, and he goes up to a freaking, stays a 68. Okay, so, but he's still a right guard. Jackson 75, Charles 72, Sitton's a 75, 68 for Nix, 64 for Manningham, and then they took a bunch of scrubs. Okay, so best player in the class was Matt Ryan, number 2 overall pick to the Lions. 80 overall. We got 2 of the highest rated players in the entire class, so I'll take that, I guess. And most importantly, we've given JaMarcus Russell a few weapons. Now, the big question is, when do we change playbooks? Because I don't think the Raider playbook is going to be conducive for... Conducive? It's going to be... I don't think it's going to work very well for a freaking development of JaMarcus Russell. So what we're going to do is probably change it. I just don't know when we're going to change it. Do we change it now? What do we change it to? Do we change it to Cincinnati? We had some good success with Cincinnati's playbook in the past. So do we change it to that? What do we do? I don't know. There's a big question. But Sitton's going to start right away, which I like. We got to have Mario Williams. Or that's not Mario Williams. Where's Mario? Mario Manningham is who I was thinking of. He's going to be number 2 receiver just so we need him to. Jamal Charles is going to start at running back over Fargas because he's Jamal Charles. JaMarcus Russell's got some work to do. Linebacker we're still in need of. We're still in need of a lot of things. But we're developing. We're getting there. It's only year number 2, and remember, this team is not the goal is not to win a championship. So we're gonna get to year number 2. JaMarcus Russell's now a 74 overall, right? What was he? Was he a 74 overall? JaMarcus Russell is a 74 overall. Okay, perfect. So JaMarcus Russell's a 74. We got him up a few overalls, but we need to get him up even more overalls right now, which is why I kind of think we should change schemes. Maybe we should go to Bengal playbook. Maybe that would work a little bit better, because the Bengal playbook allows for... I see a 77. Bengal playbook allows for a lot of receiving yards and also the quarterback to develop. So I think if we change to Cincinnati's offense playbook, we can stay with Vegas's defense or Oakland's defense for right now, but maybe we have to change that too. But we'll go with Cincinnati's playbook for year number 2. We'll see how JaMarcus Russell develops. Hopefully him and Deshaun Jackson and Mario Manningham all take big jumps, and Jamal Charles. But that is going to be it for this portion. I will cut now to the end of JaMarcus Russell's 2nd season. Like before, if anything crazy happens, like he goes up a development trade or anything like that, I will bring us back in. But if not, then I'll see you guys at the end of his 2nd season. Okay, so I have some things to talk about here as we've entered the end of the 2nd season. The game crashed while I was simulating and while I was doing the weekly strategy stuff. So when I went back in to load the franchise, it was corrupted. So I had to restart the entirety of the franchise, which is just so much fun, isn't it? So I tried to make it as accurate as possible. I got all of my draft picks correct, and in the order that I drafted them. I even traded down to number 18. Not with the Detroit Lions this time, because they didn't have that pick, but I did trade with, I think it was the Seahawks. So I did trade down to get Deshaun Jackson. I ended up with the same guys you can see right here. I ended up with the same guys: Deshaun Jackson, Josh Sitton, Carl Nix, Jamal Charles. I ended up with all those guys. I tried to keep it as close as possible. But when I was simulating that first year, the teams that were bad in the first go round, what you guys saw, were not as bad as they were then in the second go round. So the players like Matt Ryan and all those kind of guys, they didn't end up in the same spots as they did the first time. But that's what happens when you're playing with mods on Madden. It's just Madden's already not that great of a game, so when you add all this extra stuff onto it, it tends to crash a little bit. So, and sometimes it'll get corrupted. But I tried to get it as close as possible to what it was. The main thing was I was trying to make sure that my guys were the same so that you guys wouldn't be so confused. And unfortunately, we didn't simulate very well anyway in the second season. We won, 3 games or something? So we didn't have that great of a year in the Bengal playbook. But JaMarcus Russell, which is our big focus of the video, obviously, he had a good season. 3,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He did grow his completion percentage up a little bit, which is nice. Jamal Charles, as a rookie, had a solid season. And then Mike Williams actually led the team in receiving yards. Where's Deshaun Jackson? 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. I'd like to see that a little bit more, but it is what it is. So if you notice something that's not technically what it was the last time we saw, or the last time you saw it, and that's because it's not exactly how it was, because I had to simulate, or I had to restart everything. So it's been a lot longer of a recording session than I was expecting and anticipating. I technically should already be done by now, because I'm almost to 2.5 hours on my recording when you're seeing this, and we're only in season 2. So it should be going a lot quicker than it is, but that's what happens when you record Madden content. Hopefully NCAA game is a little bit better in terms of not crashing. But we move on. I just wanted to point that out in case you saw something that wasn't what you saw before we cut to the next offseason, and it wasn't the same. That's why. So let's move on. The Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Tony Romo gets MVP of both the Super Bowl and of the league. And it looks like LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Merriman get Offensive Player of the Year again and Defensive Player of the Year. And then Pierre Garçon and Jason Jones are the Rookies of the Year. Wow. So Chargers and Cowboys seem to be the best teams in the league, even though the Patriots did make the Super Bowl, not the Chargers. But it seems like the Cowboys and Chargers, at least in the regular season, are dominating, because the Chargers take all the single-player awards and the Cowboys take all of the team awards like the Super Bowl. Very interesting. Negotiations, I think I re-signed everybody that I had before. Mike Williams, actually have him as star development now, but I don't really want to keep him around because we have Deshaun Jackson. We have Mario Manningham. We are feeling pretty confident in terms of our receivers, and we're probably going to even get more guys this year. At least that's the plan. I don't know if it's going to go that way. Free agency, Marion Barber's a interesting player. Antonio Gates is cool. I kind of like Antonio Gates, actually. I might spend some money on Antonio Gates. I know he doesn't really want to be here, but he kind of wants to be here. He's only 29 years old. X Factor at 93 overall. That's a very solid option for JaMarcus Russell to throw to, that's for sure. So we'll see if he signs here and not go to the Steelers. Roddy White, not really feeling any of the wide receivers. Offensive line, not feeling it. Defensive line, same deal. David Pollock's interesting. We do need another middle linebacker, I think, but I think we can find that in the draft. At least I hope we can. I don't think I'm going to go for anybody else. I think we're just going to let it ride. We're going to hope that Antonio Gates accepts our offer. And he doesn't. That's 2 years in a row now we didn't get anybody. I'm not doing very well in my free agency. I don't like that. I feel like I should be doing a little bit better. But that's okay, because we can focus on the draft. The draft is what we need to focus on. And JaMarcus Russell's developing fairly well. He's already, I think, an 80 overall. He was, what, a 74, 75 when we left? I forget exactly what he was when we last saw him, but now he's up to like 79, 80 overall, so he is actually developing fairly well. And if he can just grow to superstar development, that would be perfect. That'd be absolutely perfect. I don't know if he's going to. I hope he does. I didn't even check to see, is there any development upgrades? He's not superstar development. That's okay. I don't think there's any developments other than people getting revealed. People having their development traits revealed. We need to get defensive players, that's for sure. We absolutely need to get some defensive help. We've kind of been focusing solely on the offense. Maybe we need to work on the defensive side of things. I don't even know what draft pick we have. Do I have the number 1 overall pick? I have the number 2 overall pick again. Okay, so back-to-back years we have the number 2 overall pick. The Lions are projected to take Matt Stafford. That's pretty funny. I don't think I'm going to use the number 2 overall pick. Again, I'm probably going to trade this down because the guys that I kind of are interested in are a little bit later in the class. Like Arakpo, like Laurinaitis, like Clay Matthews, like even Michael Crabtree. They're a little bit later down the board. So I think what I'm going to do is, we also have the 27th overall pick from Seattle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade the second pick again. For the second year in a row, we're going to trade the second overall pick. And we're going to see what kind of players we can get. Hold on, let me do a little save situation here. As you can see, that file, that JaMarcus Russell file, is the corrupted original file. So I had to start something new. I just called it J because I didn't really have anything else I could call it, really. So let's do a little bit of save just in case. Start drafting. Number 1 pick is the Jets. They will select Tyree Jackson. Okay. Very interesting. But now we're probably going to trade this pick away. So who do we trade this pick with? We could trade with the Panthers and pick up some extra picks, I guess. Falcons. Okay, so nobody's really giving me any crazy good first-round picks, but it's not that big of a deal because we still have Seattle's picks. I have Seattle's pick next year. I could swap with the Texans, pick up a 2nd, a 5, and a 7, and then trade the 3rd pick as well. That could be pretty interesting. Or we could just trade with Carolina and get the 5th pick. We'd also pick up a 2nd and a 3rd next year. I think I'll do that. I'll trade with Carolina, and then we'll trade the 5th overall pick. Maybe. Or we could trade down, or we could just take somebody, I guess. Number 2 is Stafford, so they trade up above the Lions to get Matt Stafford. Very interesting. BJ Raji, now we're up again. Do I take somebody like Andre Smith or Michael Crabtree or Brian Cushing or anything like that? I could take somebody here at 5, but do I want to take somebody here at 5? I don't know. That's a big question. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I could trade down with Miami and get the 24th overall pick. I'd miss out on some pretty decent players, I think. But I'd get another first-round pick for 2010. I think I'm going to stick with this pick. I think we're going to stick with this one. We're going to take somebody here. We're going to take somebody. Who's it going to be, though? Is it going to be Andre Smith? Is it going to be Crabtree? Hayward Bay, Macklin, Cushing. It probably should be Brian Cushing or Arakpo, I feel like. It should probably be one of those guys. Or maybe Alex Mack. Because what's our other pick? It's pick 27. It should probably be Crabtree, right? Let's do Crabtree. Michael Crabtree added to the core with Deshaun Jackson, so that's another big-time receiving option. Andre Smith goes, Aaron Curry, Cushing goes to the Falcons. This is where all of the guys are going to get taken, unfortunately. I doubt that any of my guys are going to make it to where I want them to be. Hey, James Laurinaitis ended up in the Rams. Good for him. I doubt that they're going to make it there. Connor Barwin just got taken. So now we got Michael Orr. That's interesting. Ray Malaluga. We do need a middle linebacker very badly. We need a lot of stuff, really. So it's either going to be Ray Malaluga or it's going to be Michael Orr. I think it's going to be Ray Maluga. We need middle linebacker more so than we need linemen at this point. So Ray Maluga is my second first-round pick. And then I have round 2 pick 2. So we pick pretty soon after that. Maybe Michael Orr's still available. Maybe he got taken right there. I don't know. He is still available. So we could grab Michael Orr. We could take Phil Loadholtz. Either one would be a solid option. Or maybe Malcolm Jenkins or Patrick Chung. Both of those would be pretty solid, I think. But I think I'm going to take Michael Orr here. Have a right tackle option. I like that. Building that offensive line. Now we don't pick again until the 27th pick of the second round. Maybe somebody will be there. Darius Butler, Bradley Fletcher. Okay, so a lot of those guys are gone. Running back we don't need. Wide receiver we're good right now. Not going to take a tight end. TJ Lang, Alex Boone. I don't know where we go. We could go send Derek Marks, but I don't think that's the right idea. DeAndre Levy would be interesting. Or we could just go corner. It's probably either going to be one of these corners, one of these 3 corners, or it's going to be DeAndre Levy. And he's the 3rd round, so I think we might be able to get him because we have pick 2. So let's go Darius Butler. We'll go Darius Butler, bring him to the squad, and then in our 3rd round pick, we'll take Levy if he's still available. TJ Lang got drafted. Ooh, Beanie Wells is available. But I'm going to take Levy if he's here. He is. All right, so we get another linebacker. That's some good help right there. And we have the other Seattle pick. So we'll see what's available for us. Yerbick, Powers. Not a whole lot else, is there? Not a whole lot else. Greg Toller's available. Maybe that's an option. Is there any, like, sneaky offensive linemen still available that are just rated pretty low? Alex Boone is still available. Matt Slauson is. Okay, so we'll take Greg Toller here, and then we'll come in the 4th round, and we'll grab Alex Boone, and then that'll be the rest of our draft. Because I don't think there's going to be anybody else that really makes much of a difference. So we'll go in here, grab Alex Boone, and that can be a nice little offensive line depth piece. Boom. All right, so we came away with a good draft. We've got a lot of picks, a lot of assets for the future. We still have Seattle's pick for next year as well, so hopefully they're bad this year. Although I don't think they will be. But we're sitting pretty comfortable. Sitting pretty comfortable. And I think we had a pretty good draft. Let's take a look at these ratings. We got a 70 overall for Crabtree, 71 for Maluga, 72 for Michael Orr, 71 for Butler, 69 for Levy, and 68 for Toller and Boone. And the rest are scrubby. Best player in the class was Clay Matthews, an 80, Stafford's a 77, yada yada, and more yada. Okay, so that is the year 2 draft done. JaMarcus Russell has been in the league for 2 seasons. He's had a 4-win record and a 3-win record, and he has been garbage for most. Actually, I shouldn't say that. He's been pretty decent. The team has been bad. Crabtree will be the number 2 receiver. Manningham will be the number 3 receiver. We look pretty good with some depth at least, so that's nice. Carl Nix is getting a little closer in overall. And then Maluga Levy will play a linebacker. That's good to see. Darius Butler's there at corner. Okay, so we're starting to build a little bit. Starting to build a little bit of a squad. Still need to get a center, but we're looking pretty confident with the rest of the team. And this man right here, JaMarcus Russell, trying to get him to superstar development. If he can have a better season, then he will certainly be superstar development this year. I'm hoping that's the case. We will find out because I am going to simulate to the end of year number 3 and hope that there is no more crashing. I really hope so. If there is, I will bring you guys in to discuss it and discuss what I'm going to do. If not, then I will see you guys at the end of the year like normal. Okay, so thankfully no crashes happened during this simulation. We were able to get through the whole year. Nothing bad happened. Year number 3 is in the books. We actually played a little bit better than I thought. We won 7 games this year, which is a little bit of an improvement. Obviously nothing too crazy, but it is a little bit of an improvement. How did JaMarcus Russell perform? 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He's got franchise QB. I like that. Day one starter. Jamal Charles had a good second season. Love to see that. Deshaun Jackson led the team in receiving touchdowns, or not receiving touchdowns, receiving yards with 1,100. Crabtree had a good year. Love to see that. That's nice. Defensively, Maluga did really well. Okay, 117 tackles for him. It was really a good option to get Ray Maluga because he's a stud. He is an absolute stud. And we needed a middle linebacker anyway, so. We didn't make the playoffs again, obviously. But I'm hoping that we're seeing this progression from JaMarcus Russell. That's the whole goal. We don't need to make the playoffs as long as JaMarcus Russell's overall grows. And we've already technically completed this Revival Series episode because JaMarcus Russell is a lot better than what he ended up being through 3 seasons in the NFL. I don't even think he made it 3 seasons. He might have made it 3 seasons. I don't remember how long he played. But we've definitely made his career better than what it was in real life. So technically we've already done. But I want to keep going a little bit further and seeing just how high we can get him in a couple more seasons. So JaMarcus Russell now an 84 overall player. Looking pretty tasty. He's got decent deep, decent medium accuracies. His awareness has grown a lot. Love to see that. If we can get him up into the 90 club, then I'll feel pretty confident with JaMarcus Russell's career. I certainly want to try to get him to X Factor, but he's just not growing. He's just not getting that X Factor development. He's still a star development player, which is kind of frustrating. It is the Browns and the Saints in the Super Bowl. What a wild sentence I just said there. The Browns and the Saints in the Super Bowl? Kind of crazy, and the Saints get it done. The Saints do get it done, which is technically, I shouldn't say it's too crazy to say the Saints were in the Super Bowl because they did win one around the 2010 mark. So I think it was like 2011 they won it, right? No, maybe it was earlier. Maybe it was 2009. I can't remember. They won one in that range. And Drew Brees gets the MVP. Matt Ryan is the MVP of the league. See, he ended up on the Jets instead of whatever team he ended up on the first time. Marquise Colston is the player of the year, along with Julius Peppers. Then you got Darius Hayward-Bay is the offensive rookie of the year. And Ray Maluga gets defensive rookie of the year. Love to see it, big dog. That's huge, actually. That's really, really big. Did he go up a development tree? I didn't even notice. Did he go up anything? Ray Maluga, superstar development. So he probably had star and then goes up to superstar. That's huge. That's really, really huge. We need to focus on defensive line in this draft. We need to focus on, I don't even really know, offensive line, I guess. we need a couple different things. This is the 2010 NFL draft. So it's got like Ndamukong Suh and Navarro Bowman and all these big dogs. All right, Sam Bradford, #1 quarterback. So it's got all the big dogs that you expect. Negotiations, Michael Huff, Thomas Howard. Let's get Michael Huff back in here. We'll give him a 5-year deal. We'll pay him like $8 million. And then his bonus can be, I don't freaking know, $8 million as well? Sure. He doesn't want to be here, so let's get him here. Thomas Howard will bring back as well. But he wants to be here a little bit, so we don't have to pay him too crazy. And he's going to come back. Perfect. Kevin Booth. Paul McQuiston. They're not going to be expensive, so we'll bring him back. We'll do a 2-year deal for Paul. He's going to come back. And then we'll get Kevin Booth back as well. Simply for depth. He's going to come back. Okay, so that leaves us with $73 million to go to free agency with. I think that's pretty fair. Pretty decent amount of budget. Hopefully there's some people in there we can spend our money on actually bring in. Antonio Cromartie is the best option for us, and I like that option a whole heck of a lot. Antonio Cromartie, I want you here in Oakland. He doesn't want to be here, unfortunately, because he wants to be close to home. But I will pay you so much money that you won't even be able to care about it. You'll be able to fly private all the way, baby. Let's just give you an even 20. Might as well make it nice. All right, hopefully he accepts that contract. Okay, I think he will. I think we certainly overpaid for him, but I'm tired of not getting players to come to the Raiders. Everybody just wants to go somewhere else. This draft or this free agency class is not that great, actually. Not that great. There's not even really a center that I want. So, oops, I didn't mean to back out there. We'll see if we can get Antonio Cromartie. That would really help out my cornerback room. That would probably even solidify the quarterback room. He does officially come here. Thank God we actually got Antonio Cromartie. So that helps the corners a whole lot. We go to the defense. Cromartie, we got Cromartie and Asamoah now, along with Route and Washington and Darius Butler. Like, I like the cornerback room a lot. We just need to work on the defensive line, which we could fix in this draft if our draft picks are pretty good. Now, remember, we have Seattle's draft picks, so we have 2 again this year. Our pick isn't going to be that great this year, unfortunately, because we were better than we have been. So we're not going to have the number 2 overall pick again, which is a little bit unfortunate. I don't even know what we're going to have. We probably are going to have around like 13 or 14, I would have to say. That would be my guess. That would have to be the good old guess that we had. But we'll take a look at the mock draft number 5 and see what's cooking. So here it is. Mock draft number 5. Bradford's going to go number 1. Sue ends up with the Lions probably. We have pick number 10. Okay, that's not that bad. And then we also have, thanks to Seattle, we have pick 27. So again, they end up with pick 27. They must have the exact same record or something close to it at least. So with pick number 10, is there a way we can trade up to get Ndamukong Suh? Probably. There's probably a way we can trade up to get Ndamukong Suh. I really do think that trading up to get Suh is the best course of action. So the Lions have pick number 3. We have pick number 10. How does one go about doing such things like trading up? Let's try it. So pick number 10 for pick number 3 from the Lions. Where does that leave us? Ooh, that's actually really, really close. Okay, so we can make this work. We have 3 second-round picks. We don't need this. Actually, I'm going to keep all my second-round picks. At least I hope I can. I'll give him a third-round pick. And that's it. So perfect. We didn't have to give him a second. So we trade from 10 to 3 along with the third-round pick. Beautiful. Now we can take Ndamukong Suh, and that'll fix our defensive line, at least in the interior it will. As far as the rest of the interior, or the rest of the the rest of the defensive line is what I wanted to say. We're going to have to focus on, I mean, it's a deep right end class, so that's good. You got like Jerry Hughes, Carlos Dunlap, and Everson Griffin. So if we can grab 1, if not 2 of those guys, we will have that pretty much sorted. At least that's the goal. All right, let's get to the draft and hope that we can make some real magic happen here. Let's hope that we can make some real magic happen. Number 1 pick should be Sam Bradford with the Buffalo Bills, and it is. Number 2 pick is Brandon Graham. That's totally fine, because number 3 pick is Ndamukong Suh from Nebraska. Huge, huge addition to the defense. That's going to help out a whole heck of a lot. And we still have pick 27, so we can still grab another quality player. Trent Williams is in Arizona now. I didn't mean to click that. Trent Williams goes to Arizona. Jason Pierre-Paul, Gerald McCoy, Eric Berry, Derek Morgan, Tyson Alualu, Nate Allen, Demaryius Thomas, Dan Williams, Joe Hayden, Earl Thomas, Des Bryant, Jerry Hughes, okay, Devin McCourty. Some of the defensive line depth starting to go away. Patrick Robinson, Mike Iupati, Jermaine Grisham. I didn't mean to click that again. We're getting close to our pick. Russell Okung, Linval Joseph, Koamisi, and Golden Tate. So we get to pick 27, and we're still sitting pretty good. We can take Tim Tebow. Ooh, but Marquise Pouncey's available, and we do need a center, don't we? We do need a center. Griffin and Dunlap are round 2 guys. I'm going to hope that one of these 2 guys, I'm assuming Griffin's going to be here at round 2, pick 10, but I'm hoping that Dunlap is there. I'm going to take Marquise Pouncey. We need a center bad, and that exactly is what Marquise Pouncey can fit. So, boom, Ndamukong Suh and Marquise Pouncey in the first round is massively good. Brian Bulaga, Ryan Matthews, Dexter McCluster, CJ Spiller, hardly know her. Sean Lee to the Bills, okay. Javid Best. Oh, Gronk goes to the Lions. I was trying to get Gronk, but we needed too many other positions than tight end, I guess. And I think Jimmy Graham's in this draft too. Ooh, Rolando McClain got taken. I would have loved to get Rolando McClain. Okay, so we need to prioritize what we need here. Jimmy Graham is in here. So is Aaron Hernandez, to be fair. Jimmy Graham is in here. Offensive line, we've done pretty well on. We could take Roger Saffold, but I don't think we're going to do that. Dunlap and Everson Griffin are still available. But Navarro Bowman's here, and I really want to take Navarro Bowman. So it's either Navarro Bowman or Carlos Dunlap. We have picked 17 in the second round and picked 27, so I'm hoping that Carlos Dunlap still makes it. But Navarro Bowman's round... I can't take him here. That's a dumb decision. He's round 3 to 4. Dunlap has probably the best odds of going. Yeah, I'm going to take Dunlap here. Carlos Dunlap is my first second-round pick. That helps Ndamukong Suh on the defensive line. If I can play this right and get everybody that I want, this can be the draft that changes the direction of the team. As long as everything falls into place, and it has right now. So now we have picked 17. We can still take Roger Saffold and help out the offensive line, but I don't think that's the smartest idea. I think the smart idea is to keep taking guys like a Brandon Spikes. I do like Brandon Spikes here. It's probably got to be either Brandon Spikes or Navarro Bowman. I see Cam Chancellor, which would be awesome as well. It's going to be either Brandon Spikes, because we have pick 27 as well, and then pick 10 of the third round. I'm going to take Brandon Spikes. I know that goes off book, but I think Brandon Spikes is going to help the team. Okay. So Spikes gets drafted. Now we have pick 27. Donald Butler, Ben Tate, Roger Saffold goes. I really did think about it, taking him. That would help the offensive line, but there's other positions that we need more so than offensive line. Okay, so right now everything has gone pretty much to plan. Everybody is still here that I want, but now we got to figure out which order we take everybody, because now we're at pick 27, then we don't pick again until the third round, pick 10, and then it's just our own picks from then on. So we're not going to be able to get everybody. So I got to be able to get either Navarro Bowman or Jimmy Graham here. I think I'm going to go Navarro Bowman. Navarro Bowman, welcome to the squad. I would have liked Rolando McClain too, but Navarro Bowman is here. That's a huge pickup. Now we have to hope that Jimmy Graham and either or Cam Chancellor are still available into the pick 10 of the third round. And then I might have to trade into the... Oops, I didn't mean to click that. I might have to trade into the third round again just to get the other one that we take, or that we don't take at pick 10 here. Unless one of them goes these last couple picks. Jimmy Graham goes. So that makes the decision easy. Cam Chancellor is now our guy, but that means we still have to wait on tight end. I was hoping... I guess we could take Aaron Hernandez in the fourth round, because I think he should be there. But at least we get Cam Chancellor. That was low-key kind of the guy that I wanted anyway. We grab Cam Chancellor, and then we take a look at tight end. If Aaron Hernandez is available, I'll take him. He is available. Welcome to the team, Aaron Hernandez. Yay. All right, so we got Hernandez. The fifth round, I'll take a look and see if there's anybody available, but if not, then I'll probably trade out of this pick. Is there any running backs down the board? Jork Bell. Oh, LeGarrette Blount's interesting. Ooh, James Devlin I just saw down there. Brandon LaFell. Man, this is my era of football. Man, this is crazy. This is right in my wheelhouse. I just saw Alejandro Villanueva. Okay, so I'm going to have to pick every pick here because I want some of these guys that are undrafted. I don't trust the CPU to take them, or to not take them, whatever. Greg Hardy was down there as well. Austin Spittler. I feel like I have too many linebackers now. I've already taken a good amount of linebackers. We don't need another corner. We don't really need another safety because we have Cam Chancellor already. So I think with this fifth round pick, I'll take Alejandro Villanueva. And then we'll come back in the sixth round and we'll grab, I don't know, somebody else that I mentioned that was undrafted. I forget who I said. Who else did I say that was undrafted? I saw James Devlin. I saw LeGarrette Blount. Who else did I see? I saw Greg Hardy. He's not undrafted, but I'll take Greg Hardy just to add a little bit more depth to defensive line. Man, I'm getting real dangerous in this class. We took Aaron Hernandez and Greg Hardy. That's quite the criminal style draft class right there. But hey, that's what this draft class has. Now, do we take LeGarrette Blount or do we take James Devlin? Obviously, we take James Devlin. Patriot for life, baby. James Devlin. Fullback in the 7th round. Big dog. Love James Devlin. Wish he was still playing. I think he had to retire because of neck issues. Still love him, though. Fullback position's never been the same for the Patriots since James Devlin retired. All right, draft recap. How did we do? Dominican Sue's an 81. Pouncey's a 69. I think that still is higher than the center that we have now. 71 for Dunlap, 68 for Spikes. Bowman's a 71. Chance's a 64. Hernandez is a 57. Villanueva's a 63. Hardy's a 60. And 69 for Devlin. Perfect. Good draft. I really do think we got the best player in the class, which is Dominican Sue. I really do think that this is the draft. That's the draft that changes everything for this team. I think that's the draft that in a couple of seasons they really turn it around. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, we did just come off of a 7-win season, so only good things from here, really. We might as well just start Aaron Hernandez at number 1 tight end. Pouncey will start at center. The offensive line is starting to get built. I like to see that. Wide receivers are looking good with Deshaun Jackson, Michael Crabtree. JaMarcus hopefully will develop even more. That's the goal. We've got Bowman. You know what, Navarro? You're going to start right away at right outside linebacker over DeAndre Levy because you have a little bit more potential. So we're going to start you at right outside linebacker, and then you will be hopefully developing quicker than Levy will. So let's get you to that. All right, we're looking pretty good. We're still in the Bengal playbook. We'll give it another shot for this season. I could switch to Kansas City to help Aaron Hernandez, but I guess we'll figure it out. We will actually, you know what? I'll switch to Kansas. We'll give it a season of Kansas City. We'll see if that helps at all. We'll see if being in Kansas City's playbook helps. Oh, they want us to switch to a 4-3 under. Or, oh no, well, they're both 76 thanks. Okay, perfect. We'll switch to Kansas City's playbook on offense. JaMarcus Russell hopefully will take that next step. Aaron Hernandez will start to grow exponentially as well. And maybe being in Kansas City's playbook, that'll mean that JaMarcus Russell will go up in development trade. That's the goal. I will see you guys at the end of year number 4, unless anything crazy happens, like a development trade upgrade or a crash situation. But hopefully that's in the past. I'm begging that that's in the past. But if not, if anything crazy happens, I'll bring you guys back in. If not, then I will see you guys at the end of JaMarcus Russell's 4th season. I think, right? 4th season? Yeah, 4th season. Sure, why not? Finally, we have actually made some big progress. We made the playoffs as a wildcard team, but we did win the division, so that's something. 12 wins gets the playoffs for the Raiders for the first time in the JaMarcus Russell era, and I'm hoping that it's only up from here. Remember, we did switch to Kansas City's playbook, so I'm expecting superstar development from JaMarcus Russell really no matter what. These numbers are a lot better than what he did in the Bengal playbook, so that's nice to see. 4,200 yards, 29 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Good to see from him. Jamal Charles still had a really good year. Michael Crabtree and obviously Aaron Hernandez had a good year because he's in the Kelsey role. So very good season for him. Very good season from Crabtree as well. And Deshaun Jackson kind of getting left behind a little bit. Not necessarily that good. Malaluga did good. Morrison did good. Everybody really did. The Raider playbook is pretty solid for getting pressure on the quarterback and getting tackles for loss, getting in the backfield. That's what I've kind of noticed. Antonio Cromartie had a good year in his first time here in Oakland. So we make the playoffs. JaMarcus Russell, I'm expecting superstar development. I'm expecting star development from Aaron Hernandez. And we lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's totally fine. I didn't think we'd really make the playoffs in the first place, and yet we did. So it's not that big of a deal because we're seeing the progression of JaMarcus Russell. We are really seeing the progression of JaMarcus Russell. It is Chargers-Vikings in the Super Bowl. And yes, my prophecy has come true. JaMarcus Russell is now a superstar development player, and Aaron Hernandez. We took Aaron Hernandez from a 57 all the way to a 69. Nice. Just with one season of Kansas City's playbook. That's how crazy this playbook is for tight ends. That is how crazy it is. Absolutely insane. But JaMarcus Russell has now grown to a superstar development player. In just his 4th year, he's looking real sexy. Real sexy. He's almost a 90. Or I guess he's almost an 88, technically. So he's looking real good there. And then on defense, any big changes? Ooh, Kirk Morrison and Howard are both superstar development players. Navarro Bowman, superstar development. I don't know how he didn't start. Very interesting. Oh, it's because we switched. No, I don't know why he wouldn't start. X Factor for Huff, I just realized. Wow, the defense, look how different the defense has changed in just one season of actually winning a bunch of games. Well, it's crazy how much winning can change your team over a season. So we get to the offseason. This is the 2011 draft, so it's Von Miller, Cam Newton, Julio Jones, all those guys. J.J. Watt, all the boys you know and may or may not love. Okay. But JaMarcus Russell's already looking pretty good. JaMarcus is already looking pretty good. He's an 88 overall, or 87 overall, almost an 88. He will be an 88 by the start of next season, I would think, with training camp and all that kind of stuff. So, season recap. Alex Smith wins the MVP for the Vikings. Good for him. Tom Brady gets MVP of the league. We get LT winning Offensive Player of the Year with Brian Cushing winning Defensive Player of the Year. Antonio Brown, I forgot he was in the 2010 draft class. I totally would have drafted him if I would have remembered. He wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Sean Lee gets Defensive Rookie. I think he was the first pick of the second round, if I remember correctly. I completely forgot that Antonio Brown was in the 2010 draft class. I definitely would have grabbed him if I would have just remembered. That would have helped out the team a lot. But it's okay because we move on to the off-season. We've got negotiations. I saved this for this time. I could have re-signed JaMarcus Russell beforehand, but I saved it for this moment because obviously it's the guy that we're focusing on, so I wanted to keep it so that you guys could see me extend him. Now, usually we do this when the video is over and we give him the max extension, but we're just going to give JaMarcus Russell the max extension right now. We're going to give him a lot of guaranteed money, and he's going to sign his contract here and stay here for 7 seasons. Now, we're not going to have any free agent money, but that's okay because we've done so good in the draft the past couple of years that we're not going to really even need free agent money. I don't think we have any. I know we used all of the Seattle picks from the past couple of drafts. Tom Brady, after winning MVP, is not going to be a Patriot anymore. That's pretty hurtful. I don't like that. I don't think we have any extra draft picks. I think all we have is our own draft picks and what is a very good draft class, the 2011 draft class. I do want to see in the preseason, I want to see how close we are because I think next season could be the end, could be the last season. It very well could be. If JaMarcus Russell can get into the low 90s, I think, and depending on where everybody else is in terms of quarterbacks, I think that JaMarcus Russell, if he get in the 90s, he could be considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and we could have our pretty much the video over. So I want to see by the preseason of this next year where he's kind of sitting. So mock draft number 5 has the Texans taking Cam Newton, Von Miller, Marcel Darius, Jake Locker. Very interesting. AJ Green still ended up in the Bengals. We have pick number 24, and they want us to take Jabal Sheard. I don't know about that. I don't think I'm going to trade up, but I don't think I'm going to take Jabal Sheard. Maybe I would. Maybe I would. Let me take a look at the team. What does the team need? We probably need an extra receiver. We have our future right guard whenever he wants to start. We have Alejandro Villanueva at left tackle. Or Michael Orr, I guess. We could start Michael Orr at left tackle for right now because Robert Gallery is still pretty good overall. So Michael Orr will start there. We have Aaron Hernandez at tight end. I mean, we've got pretty much everything we need, right? I mean, we've got the replacement for Michael Huff in the future and Cam Chancellor. We've got pretty good corner depth. I think we stick it at whatever pick we have, 27 or whatever it was. I don't remember. Whatever pick we have. And I think we just take best player available. Because I don't think that we specifically need something unless we go left tackle. And it looks like there are a couple pretty decent left tackles in this class, like Tyron Smith, like Nate Solder. So if we do Anthony Castonzo's already up to 85%. Rodney Hudson as well. Ooh, okay. So maybe we focus on offensive line in this class. Just continue to build offensive linemen. And maybe we do Muhammad Wilkerson. That could be awesome. Okay, so there's a couple guys down the board that we could certainly grab. I would not be opposed to grabbing. So we'll see how the draft plays out. I don't think we need to trade up or anything like that. I think we just let it ride with what we have and see kind of what happens. So start drafting. What do we got? Number 1 overall pick should be Cam Newton, and it is. Then you got Von Miller, Marcel Darius, Jake Locker, Alden Smith, J.J. Watt, Tyron Smith, Cameron Jordan, Pat Pete, Julio to the Falcons, funny. A.J. Green to the Bengals, funny. Adrian Claiborne to the Cardinals, funny. Jimmy Smith, Robert Quinn, Ryan Kerrigan. That would have been a cool pick. Kyle Rudolph, Andy Dalton, Cam Hayward. Love Cam Hayward. Corey Leggett, Nick Fairley, Phil Taylor, Prince Amukamara, and Colin Kaepernick. All right, so we make it to pick 24. Still some very talented people on this board, like Mark Ingram or Marquise Pouncey, or Mike Pouncey, excuse me. Jabal Sheard is still available. Costanzo's a true round 1 talent. Muhammad Wilkerson's on the board. We have pick 24 all the way through until the 7th round. What do I want to do? Do I want to take... I can't take DeMarco Murray with our first round pick. We're pretty solid at running back with Jamal Charles. We don't need really another one. So I think we either take one of these left tackles like Nate Solder, Orlando Franklin, or Anthony Costanzo, or we take... Oh, Jason Kelsey. I just saw him down the board too. Or we take Muhammad Wilkerson. I kind of want to take Muhammad Wilkerson now that I see it. So I think I'm going to do that. Muhammad Wilkerson is our first round pick. I like Mo Wilkerson. Very good player. Very, very good player. Now, I don't know what's going to be there at pick 24 the second round. Probably not a whole lot. Jarrell Casey. I probably would have grabbed Jarrell Casey if he was still there. Randall Cobb is still there. Okay, so Costanzo's still gone, or is gone now. Good to know. Kelsey's still available. No other D tackles that I really need. Justin Houston. That's a good pickup. I think Justin Houston might be my guy. Yeah, I can't pass up Justin Houston. That's too good of a pickup. So Muhammad Wilkerson, Justin Houston, 2 additions to the team, and then we go to the 3rd round, and we hope that Jason Kelsey's available, because that can help out the offensive line a little bit. He is still available. We'll take him in the 3rd round. Welcome to the squad, Jason Kelsey, future Hall of Famer. And now in the 4th round, this is probably going to be my final pick, because I don't really know where we're going to go with this one. So we'll kind of just take a look. Oh, there's Terrell Pryor. We could kind of just play it by ear. Maybe there's a wide receiver down the board that doesn't get valued. I don't know why Tyrod Taylor's a wide receiver. Don't ask me. Cecil Short. None of these guys are going to really do much, are they? Ricardo Lockett, no. Chris Hogan, no. Doug Baldwin, I guess we could grab Doug Baldwin a little bit later. Maybe he does something for us. Probably not, though. Pernell McPhee is interesting. Lawrence Guy. Doesn't look like the linebacking is really anybody. Buster Screen! Oh, I might have to take Buster Screen, because I can say his name like, Buster Screen! I'm going to take him. We're going to take Buster. Welcome to the squad, big dog. 94 speed, 94 excel. Buster Screen is a Raider. And then we'll come back in the 5th round and we'll grab Doug Baldwin, and then we'll call it a draft. At least we can say we added another wide receiver to the team that could help the squad. So where is he at? Dougie. There he is. Doug Baldwin. I think, if I remember correctly, he has superstar right off the bat. I'm not 100% sure. I can't be certain, obviously, until we find out. But I think, if I remember right from a previous video that I did where we had this draft class, I think he had superstar. I don't remember. But it doesn't matter, because this is the moment of truth. 69 for Wilkerson, 73 for Houston. Okay, so we got a lot of guys that are low overalls, but that's okay, because we're at the point now where we're getting backups. We're not really getting starters, or at least big impact starters right off the bat, like right as they get drafted, because we already established that in the first couple of draft classes, so it's not that big of a deal. But here it is, because if JaMarcus Russell has another good year like he did last year, almost certainly X factor, and then Aaron Hernandez should be superstar as well. So we're looking pretty good there on offense. We're looking pretty good on defense as well. We're gonna have Navarro Bowman start it right outside linebacker. Defensive line looking pretty solid. Corners looking pretty solid. Safeties looking pretty solid. The team in general just looks pretty good now. The team just looks pretty good. But here is the moment of truth. NFL rosters, all the way down to the NFL quarterbacks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. I messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So JaMarcus Russell is around the 12th quarterback in the league. If he has another season, I could certainly see him be around this Phillip Rivers mark, around the low 90s, maybe even up to a 93. Probably not, though. Probably around that low 90s mark, I could see. So if he gets there, then he'll be on the first. We won't have to scroll down. Then he'll be a top quarterback in the league. I would like that. We'll see how it goes. We're still rocking Kansas City's playbook, so hopefully he can go up to Superstar X Factor, and then we'll feel pretty confident that we've fixed and revived JaMarcus Russell's career. We wrapped up the year, and the combination of JaMarcus Russell actually being very good now, and the Kansas City playbook, and I guess the players that we've added around him, we've really made this team very good. We won 15 games. We were obviously the number 1 seed. We won the division pretty well, and yeah, dominance, absolute dominance. And it looks like JaMarcus Russell finished second in the league in passing yards this year. He has probably a good shot at winning MVP, although he didn't put up too many touchdowns, so maybe that's not going to win him MVP. That's okay, though. He still had a very, very good year. 4,400 yards, 28 touchdowns to just 4 picks. He has gotten that completion percentage up to to actual 70%, which is exactly where I wanted him to be. JaMarcus Russell is having a very, very good career right now. Jamal Charles, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. Very good season from him. Hernandez obviously dominating. Michael Crabtree dominating. Deshaun Jackson actually had a pretty good season as well. So everybody's getting a little share of the wealth. Thomas Howard's become like a really good stud. I don't know why he's been so dominant, but he has. A lot of tackles for loss. Again, that's what the Raider playbook does. Sacks and tackles for loss is what the Raider playbook is very, very good at. That's good to know. And that's good to know for future possible just regular rebuilds. The Raider defense is good for that kind of stuff. But now it's time for an important part, not the main part, but an important part. It's the playoffs. What could possibly be the final playoffs, and it looks like we beat the Steelers. That's good to know. JaMarcus Russell has achieved 91 overall, so now he is above Phillip Rivers, unless Phillip Rivers went above a 90 or went above a 91. I guess that's possible. But JaMarcus Russell, as far as I know, should be at the very, very tip top of the quarterback rankings. And maybe, even if we get to the Super Bowl, maybe he can even go up even further. Who knows? But I'm almost certain he's going to get X Factor. I'm almost certain Aaron Hernandez is going to get Superstar. We beat the Titans and are playing in the Super Bowl. JaMarcus Russell will go up to a 92 overall. Wow, I can't believe we're actually here. We are actually in the Super Bowl. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I know we won 15 games, so it shouldn't be really a shock that we're in the Super Bowl. But we'll see if JaMarcus Russell can win a championship. If he can win a championship here, then I feel like that's pretty much it. I mean, I know it's not the end-all be-all to win a championship. Even if he doesn't win a championship, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the end of the video anyway, because we've obviously turned JaMarcus Russell's career around, that's for sure. We will jump in to kind of see if he can win it. Let's get into it. Let's see if we can win it. If we don't win it, not a big deal, but obviously I would like to win one. That would just help bolster JaMarcus Russell's resume. So we'll jump in, we'll see if we can win it, and hopefully JaMarcus Russell will have his career revived after this. Here we are in the Super Bowl, and remember when a couple off seasons ago when Tom Brady was in free agency after he just won the league MVP? Well, when I was loading in, I saw that he signed with the Rams. He's now the quarterback of the St. Louis Rams. They're not the LA Rams at this time. So he's now quarterbacking them. So JaMarcus Russell is playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. That is kind of what a mind-melding sentence to say. JaMarcus Russell is playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And you know what? We are winning by a point, so that's pretty cool. And I kind of want to get a little bit of action with JaMarcus. We've only seen him in training camp and stuff. I kind of want to get a little bit of action with JaMarcus here. And it looks like he doesn't have Superstar X Factor, which is kind of weird. What a catch from Deshaun Jackson. My God. Hold on, let me connect my headphones for a second. What a freaking catch from Deshaun Jackson. That was kind of wild, actually. I did not think he'd catch that. They're going to challenge the play. I wouldn't be surprised if they overturn it. It's upheld. It stayed in. Man, that was a kind of crazy catch. I did not think that was going to even be close to being working. I thought for sure it'd be intercepted. It was caught. And now we're going to go. Oh, that's a bad throw, but Baldwin almost held on. I almost pressed two buttons at the same time. My thumb slipped. My thumb kind of slipped there for a second. But it's okay because we got Jamal Charles. Did Jamal Charles wear number 32 on the Chiefs? I don't think he did. That seems weird if he did. Juke move. Oh, that juke move needed to work. Oh, I wish it did. It feels good running with Jamal Charles. I like that. But we are trying to run this clock down. Let's roll out of the pocket here with JaMarcus Russell. Send him up the field and then toss it to him. It's backup tight end Hill. Good job, big dog. I don't know what your first name is, but you caught a big-time pass in the Super Bowl to get us that first down. 2-minute warning, 14-13. The big dogs are trying to win a title for JaMarcus. They obviously want us to run the football with Jamal Charles, which I don't necessarily disagree with. Mainly because it is Jamal Charles and he's super good. They're going to use their timeouts. Luckily for us, they only had 2 remaining. So we're sitting in a pretty good spot here. We are sitting in a pretty good spot, especially if Jamal can get this first down. You got a juke move. Ah, he almost had it. He really did almost slip that tackle and have it. Sleep. I'm going to give him the ball again. 3rd down and 2. Jamal Charles will get... No, it's 4th and 1. How did he not get it? Oh, they're going to review it. Oh, wait, why are they going to review it? They overturned it. They gave me the first down. I've never seen that before. I've honestly never seen that before. They gave me the first down. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even know that they could do that. That's awesome. Wow, I've honestly never seen that before, where you get a 4th and 1 and they challenge it and then overturn it. Like, I didn't challenge the call; it was just automatically challenged. That's kind of crazy. And JaMarcus Russell and the Raiders end up being Super Bowl champions. So now this can officially be the end of JaMarcus Russell's video. We have officially revived his career. We did that a couple seasons ago by making him actually a serviceable starter in the league. But now we've taken him to superstardom. We've taken him to franchise quarterback level. We already gave him, there's Tom Brady. We already gave him the max extension last offseason. So he's already sitting on a big fat contract. He's now got a championship to go along with that. So JaMarcus Russell, we have officially revived your career, big dog. You are now a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You're the quarterback that led a championship team, that started on a championship team. You also finished 2nd in passing yards. You probably did pretty well to win MVP, or got close to finishing in MVP ranks, and you outplayed Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I'd say that alone would revive your career. You outplayed Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. That alone revives JaMarcus Russell's career. Antonio Cromartie goes up to a 97. I think that was an underrated, sneaky good signing. Bringing in Antonio Cromartie, it helped that he kind of wanted to be here a little bit. All right, so let's go to the final season recap. It's a good thing that this is the last season because we don't have a ton of money. We win the championship. A lot of our guys, this is a fun team. I built a pretty fun team. I really did. I built a pretty fun team. All right, season recap. So JaMarcus Russell, he got MVP, not of the league, but of the Super Bowl. So good for him. Tony Romo wins MVP of the league. Frank Gore and Tamba Hali win the rookie or the players of the year. Cam Newton and JJ Watt win the offense and defensive rookies of the year. So let's officially wrap up this video taking a look at JaMarcus Russell one final time. Unfortunately, he doesn't go up to Superstar X Factor, which is kind of weird to me. I thought for sure he would go up. Aaron Hernandez does go up to Superstar, but JaMarcus Russell, we revived his career. It took us, what, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, something like that, but we have revived his career. He looks like a franchise quarterback with these accuracies. He's looking amazing. He can't throw the ball short very well, but he can throw it deep, that's for sure. So JaMarcus Russell, a 92 overall player, looking real good. Superstar development. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. But first, before we go, I want to see officially where he ranks in terms of the rest of the NFL in terms of quarterbacks. So let's get to that. Quarterbacks, and JaMarcus Russell is right there. Don't even have to scroll. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, he's even 1, 2, 3. Technically, he's 3rd since a lot of these guys are tied for 1st and 2nd, but he is officially 6th. The 6th best quarterback in all of the NFL is JaMarcus Russell. I guess that is a revived career, if you ask me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for players that you want to see their careers revived by me, leave them down below in the comments of any of my videos, but especially the Revival Series ones. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.